Welcome into the Fantasy Football Diagnostics Podcast, where we provide you with your weekly diagnosis of everything fantasy football. Whether it's season-long leagues, dynasty, DFS, or sometimes even IDP, we got you covered all year long. Let's do it. Let's get to it. Welcome into the Fantasy Football Diagnostics Podcast, and I am your host, John June, and of course, without a doubt, got my guy here, Greg Penniman. Greg, what is good, man?
What's good? Here we got some Saturday games going on tonight, so that should be fun. Week 18. Hey man, I think everyone's excited just as much as everyone. If you're in New York, man, this is a good day for sports books and everything. It's been a long time coming, so we get to finally profit off of our fantasy analysis.
Yeah, I mean, Greg and I, we meant to sit here and start recording this show a while ago, but we got caught up talking about all of this betting stuff. As Greg mentioned, betting, online sports betting is legal in the state of New York now, so we don't have to travel to New Jersey or Connecticut to go do such things. We can do it from the comfort of our own homes. So, as you know, if you've been listening to this show for a while, we've been obviously picking out picks on games and whatnot. If you live in New York, you could, actually start putting some of this into action, as, I'm sure we plan to start doing as well on our end here, starting, obviously this weekend and today with these games here that we covered in the breakdowns yesterday, actually Thursday night, but posted yesterday. So if you want to check those out, obviously you can go back and listen to that or watch it on YouTube, episode 242.
242? Yeah, 242 part.
No,
yeah.
43. It was 243. This is because this is episode 244. So, you can go back, check that out. But this is episode 244, where we're going to obviously cover the remaining games. So that means the 4 o'clock games as well as the one Sunday night primetime game that we have. So, starting with the 10-6 New England Patriots traveling to Miami to take on the 8-8 Miami Dolphins. This game has a 40-point total, where the New England Patriots are 6.5-point favorites. In terms of weather, there's expected to be some rain in this game. On the Miami side, they are okay in terms of injuries. On the New England side, Kyle Duggar, the safety, he's out with a hand injury. Jacoby Myers is questionable with a thigh. A bunch of other guys questionable on the New England side. But Greg, when it comes to the game, where are you going?
I'm going to go take the over. I'm going to take the Pats to cover, and I'm going to take the Pats to win. On New England side, I do like their running game as usual every week. Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson have found a groove for sure. I like the matchup for sure. Damian Harris and Stevenson are both in that mid-tier RB2 category. Of course, whoever gets that edge is going to get the touchdowns. So either one of them could have RB1 upside. And as far as, Hunter Henry could be a serviceable tight end, or someone that you could probably stream. And on Miami side, I'm only looking at Jalen Waddle. He's also trying to get a record as well for rookie receiving receptions this year. So he's very close to getting that. I think he definitely does get it. And he's probably the main guy I'm looking at, and Mike Gesicki as well.
Yeah, so I'm with you on the game here. I'm taking the over. I'm gonna take New England to cover. I will be taking New England to also win this game here. In terms of the fantasy stuff, on the Miami side, the backfield it seems like it's Duke Johnson leading the way here. So I have him as an RB3, volume based receiver there, or running back there. Jalen Waddle, like you said, he will get this record. It's pretty inconceivable that he wouldn't. He's sitting on 99 receptions. Anquan Bolden has the record
101,
for
I think.
101 receptions. So Jalen Waddle just needs 3 receptions to break that. Obviously, everybody knows that. The New England knows that. I do expect them to try to slow him down. He hasn't been consistently seeing the volume that that's made him the high end fantasy asset that we so desire. But I'd imagine them again with this record at play in Miami. They do still have a shot at making the playoffs here. I think they have an outside shot at making the playoffs. Potentially New England playing for a division title here. So both these teams playing for something. Um, I will expect this offense to run through Waddle, so I will have him as a high end to mid range wide receiver 2. Other than that, though, I'm probably going to be out on this offense. On the New England side, Damian Harris, he left last week's game with a hamstring injury. So I don't know what the situation is going to be there. It seems like he's good to go. So if they don't try to rest him or anything, they need this game. Like I said, I expect him to be in that RB1 range along with Ramondre Stevenson, who obviously, like you said, with how those touchdowns fall, can be in that RB1, RB2 category. Jacoby Myers probably going to be wide receiver 3, and then Hunter Henry, he sits on the borderline of a tight end 1, opportunity here for me. Yeah, other than that, excited about this game. This next game should also have some intrigue, especially with the fantasy side, is more particularly on one side. Talking about 4-12 New York Jets traveling to Buffalo to take on the 10-6 Buffalo Bills. This game has a 42-point total, where the Buffalo Bills are 16.5-point favorites. This game, there's expected to be some rain in this game on the Buffalo side in terms of injuries. Emmanuel Sanders, he's doubtful with the knee. On the Jets, Braxton Berrios joins Elijah Moore on the injured reserve list. So both will miss this game on Sunday. Jamison Crowder returned to practice. He's been dealing with a calf injury, so he seems like he will be making a return to the offense to kind of just fill that void left by Berrios. Left tackle George Fant, who's been filling in for Mekhi Becton, he was also placed on the injured reserve there. So Jets missing some key pieces. I will take the over in this game. I will take the Jets to cover 16.5. They've actually covered in each of their last 3 games, and I will take Buffalo to win this game here. For the fantasy side, Josh Allen, high-end QB1, Stephon Diggs, a wide receiver 1, Devin Singletary, high-end running back 2. The Jets have been better against running backs, but they also had starting running backs get injured in each of their last 2 games with James Robinson and Ronald Jones. So anticipate a bit more production than they've been allowing in recent weeks. I think Gabe Davis is in play to be a nice high-end wide receiver 2. Cole Beasley, a high-end wide receiver 3. And then I think Dawson Knox bounces back in a major way from the goose egg that he gave you last week to be a tight end 1. On the Jets side, Michael Carter, he has some RB1 upside, but ultimately I have him ranked as an RB2. Jamison Crowder is a wide receiver 3.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the under. I'm going to take the Jets to cover and take the Bills to win. Think the Bills do dominate here. They have a great game through Josh Allen. Josh Allen will, do what he have to do as a QB1, which includes all his skill position players. Devin Singletary has been on a tear of late as a low-end RB1. So I think, with the matchup here, I think you got to continue to play him as such, especially, he getting in the end zone, getting receptions and everything. Stephon Diggs, low-end wide receiver 1 for me. Gabriel Davis, I do like him as a play when he's healthy and ready to go. And Dawson Knox should bounce back here for sure. He's set up for the bounce back, and he's been a solid tight end all year, mid-tier tight end 1 all year. So I like that for him. On the Jets side, I do like Michael Carter as a play. Was banged up last week in that pretty solid matchup. It was against Tampa Bay. Should be back here to give you an RB2 performance. And yeah, Braxton Berrios, you already know, man. He's gonna bring it home.
No, I just told you, man. He's on injured reserve.
Oh man, is Elijah Moore playing at least? Yo,
No, did you
dag,
not
yo.
listen to the injury
Well, because
portion?
last 2 weeks, Coach Robert Saleh was like, oh, maybe he could come back for the last 2 weeks. So I was
Nah,
hopeful.
man. Salah's he's in the Pete Carroll bucket, like where he's not like he's very optimistic, so maybe he's like not a full blown liar, but he's just super optimistic. But Barrios and Elijah Moore are both out. Jameson
There you
Crowder,
go.
he's the only
He's the only
receiver.
one catching passes. Sick.
Yeah, so that's why he's a wide receiver 3 for me. But uh yeah, nobody else on the Jets side, I'm assuming, right?
No.
Yeah. Moving on to this next matchup, we've got the 5-11 Carolina Panthers traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the 12-4 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This game has a 42-point total, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 8-point favorites. In terms of the injuries here, the weather's okay. In terms of injuries, Robbie Anderson, he's a game time decision dealing with I believe it's a thigh or a quad injury. Shaq Barrett, he's out of this game, as is JPP, as is Ronald Jones. On the that was the Tampa Bay side, and that was the Carolina side. So, Greg, where are you at with this game?
I'm gonna take the over. I'm gonna take Tampa to cover. Take Tampa to win. Yeah, I think Tampa just kind of responds here, off the week that they had. They did get the win, but with the AB situation, they want to finish strong, going to the playoffs well. So I think Tom Brady plays well, gets a borderline QB1 performance. Ronald Jones, if he's able to go, I think he's in that RB2. Carolina's been pretty good against the run all year,
Ronald
so
Jones isn't going.
he's gone. So, Keyshawn Vaughn, man, he slide him in there, slide him in, Keyshawn Vaughn, as a RB3. I think, he's going to get the volume, but he's in that RB3 category for me. And as far as the receivers, pass catchers, there's no AB, there's no Godwin. Mike Evans is the only one there. So he's going to get a lot of targets. And as far as the secondary receiver, hopefully Cyril Grayson. I don't know if you want to take a risk on him, but in deeper leagues, I think I'd be willing to do that. And on the Carolina side, there's not really anyone I would like to touch, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the over here. I'm gonna take the Bucks to cover, taking the Bucks to win. DJ Moore on the Carolina side he saw 8 targets last week. I probably expect that to continue. Don't know what you'll get from those 8 targets, but he's a wide receiver 3 flex option in PPR leagues. Nothing more, nothing less. Tom Brady, I think he goes scorched earth in this game. Honestly, Carolina is not a very good team. They're reeling. Tampa Bay is dealing with some adversity right now, so I think he bounces back and has a nice performance here. Mike Evans, wide receiver 1. Keyshawn Vaughn, I think he's going to be the RB1 here. I think could probably finish as a top 12 guy in PPR leagues. If we're being honest, given the game script potentially here and the opportunity for him. Gronk, should be treated as a top 5 tight end option. And then, Lev Bell has some intrigue, like we talked about earlier in the week. Potentially could, is auditioning for a passing down role here with the Bucks. So, maybe he has some intrigue in deeper leagues where you might need running back help.
Yeah, that'd be crazy if Tampa makes a run, gets Lev Bell a chip after they just got AB a chip. And the Steelers got their rings.
That would be pretty wild. Let's move on to the next matchup here. We've got the 8-8 New Orleans Saints traveling to Atlanta to take on the 7-9 Atlanta Falcons. This game has a 41-point total, where the New Orleans Saints are 4.5-point favorites. This game's played in a dome here, so no weather concerns. In terms of injuries, Atlanta's okay, but New Orleans, they're dealing with some stuff there. Teron Armstead, he's out with the knee injury. Cornerback PJ Williams, he's out with an ankle. Cornerback Bradley Roby, he's out with the shoulder. And Mark Ingram is questionable with a knee injury. I will take the under in this game. I'm going to take Atlanta to cover. I'm going to take New Orleans to win the game, though. For Atlanta, Kyle Pitts, if he can go, he's a top 5 tight end option for me. He needs 59 receiving yards to break the rookie record held by Mike Ditka. 4 receiving yards by rookie tight end. He's sitting on 1,018 receiving yards right now. 1,076 is the record. So I think that's definitely achievable in this matchup here. Russell Gage, he's a wide receiver 1 option for me this week. You've already heard the list of cornerbacks or defensive backs that New Orleans will be missing in this matchup here. So I definitely like him. I'm sorry, but I will be out on Cordell Patterson again. I mean, single-digit points for 3-4 consecutive weeks now in PPR leagues. He's not getting the volume. He's not getting the receiving work. It's just he's not a guy that I'm willing to play in championship week. On the New Orleans side, Taysom Hill, he's a quarterback 1. Marquez Callaway, he's been producing lately, and I think he's a high-end wide receiver 2 this week going into this matchup here. And then Alvin Kamara, he's obviously an RB1. Hopefully, he can get some more work this week in championship, the other championship week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the over. I'm gonna take Atlanta to cover, but I'm gonna take New Orleans to win. On the Saints side, Taysom Hill, think is still in a good spot here. Him and Kamara are really the only guys creating this offense for this team. So this offense runs through them too. So I think they're both ones at their position. And on the Atlanta side, Russell Gage is a great play, and as well as Kyle Pitts. I'm with you on Cordell Patterson. He's gotten a lot of leeway, which he deserved. Because he killed all year, but after
I wasn't giving it to him, man. I wasn't giving it to him. I'm sorry. I love the man, but he wasn't getting it from me. I had too much Cordell Patterson. I knew the truth.
But yeah, Kyle Pitts definitely low end tight end 1 for me, and also Russell Gage, yeah, definitely in my wide receiver 2 category.
Definitely, man. Let's move on to this next matchup. I swear, if Seattle had something to play for, we would be all over this game. But Seattle's not very good. So 6-10 Seattle Seahawks travel to Arizona to take on the 11-5 Arizona Cardinals. This game has a 48-point total, where the Arizona Cardinals are 6.5-point favorites.
Russell Wilson's playing for his Seattle legacy right here. That's what he's.
His Seattle legacy, yes.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think Russell Wilson, you could probably not pay him and he would still play this game and play his whole.
Facts. He's the anti-AB, yo.
Anti-AB. All he cares about is how much money he was getting paid. That's crazy. Oh man. All right. So where were we? The Arizona Cardinals 6.5-point favorites. In terms of the weather, we are okay because this game is in a dome, so nothing to be concerned about there. In terms of injuries, James Conner, he's questionable with a heel. I think he returned to practice this week. I hope so, because Chase Edmonds, who's dealing with a rib injury, is out of this game on Sunday. Cornerback Marco Wilson dealing with a shoulder injury. He's also out. J.J. Watt, he's designated to return from injured reserve. No idea if he'll make it back from this game.
Crazy.
He's a beast. I mean, the dude, this is his second time in his career.
Him and TJ, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Had a season-ending injury and has returned. Jordan Phillips, he's out with a knee injury. Rondell Moore, he's out with an ankle. On the Seattle side, Brandon Shell, he's out with a shoulder. Cornerback John Reed, he's out with a concussion. And linebacker Bobby Wagner, he is out with a knee injury. Greg, what say you?
I'm going to take the over. I'm going to take Seattle to cover, and I'm going to take Arizona to win. I think Seattle makes, Arizona work for this NFC West title. So on Seattle side, I do like Russell Wilson as a borderline QB1. I do like Rashad Penny as an RB1. He's been just killing in this stretch of late. I guess the receivers are back. Yo, DK, I got to slide him as a top wide receiver too. He's got to be there for me. He's there for a big day. Tyler Lockett, also in that same category as well. And on the Arizona side, K1, Kyler Murray, you already know, QB1, James Conner, if he's able to go. No Chase Edmonds. He's start of the week category for me here, especially week with the matchup and everything. And Christian Kirk should be the number one receiver and be there for a lot of targets with AJ Green as well, who's been solid the last couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on this game. I'm taking the over. I'm taking Seattle to cover. I'm taking Arizona to win. James Conner, for me, he's an RB1 without Edmonds. If he goes, Kyler Murray, he's a quarterback one for sure. He's got to lead. I mean, he's about to enter of his first playoff, appearance in his career next week. He's like, I think that we've got to see a different Kyler Murray. Like, we've got to see him kind of take over.
Yeah.
MVP Kyler. Christian Kirk, I think he's a wide receiver one. Zach Ertz, he's a tight end one. Anton Wesley, he's been a touchdown machine as of late. Not seeing enough work to be a playable asset, but definitely a name. If you play in playoff, if you're playing in any playoff contest or anything like that, he's probably a name that you want to keep an eye on going forward. And then Russ is in a really good spot here. He was definitely in the start of the week consideration for me, but I think he definitely finishes out as a QB1, high-end, mid-range, high-end QB1. Rashad Penny, I'm with you there. He's definitely an RB1. And DK Metcalf, I totally agree. He's a wide receiver too. He's got that wide receiver one upside. And I hope everybody remembers what I wasn't saying. I wasn't saying to bench DK. I just said, hey, we just got to adjust expectations. He's like a wide receiver 3 flex option. And now he's a wide receiver 2 with some wide receiver one upside. And I think the same goes for Tyler Lockett, who's been a bit down since coming back from the COVID list. So, I think Russell Wilson can elevate his play this week in a good matchup. I think, DK and Tyler Lockett can do the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moving on to this next matchup, we've got the 9-7 San Francisco 49ers traveling to LA to take on the 12-4 LA Rams. This game has a 45-point total. The LA Rams are 4-point favorites. In terms of weather, we are okay. The Rams are okay in terms of injuries. Jimmy G on the Niners side, he's questionable, expected to play in this game, dealing with that thumb injury. Seems like he's making his way back. And then for good news for Elijah Mitchell, not on the injury report. In terms of the matchup here, Sean McVay is 0-5. 0-5 against Kyle Shanahan. And that had nothing to do with me picking this game. I was picking the Niners out either way. I'm taking the over. I'm taking the Niners to cover. I'm taking the Niners to win. It had nothing to do. It's just like when you look at the teams and how they're matched up, the Niners are playing better football right now on both sides of the football, offensively and defensively. I mean, they're the second best pass defense in terms of EPA on early downs. They're top 6 in both rush offense and rush defense in EPA on early downs. They're just playing really good football. We saw them do it, whether it was Trey Lance at quarterback last week and Jimmy G, they get him back, and he really is the point guard that this offense needs. So on the Rams side, I'm going to take Cooper Kupp. Obviously, as a wide receiver 1, probably the wide receiver 1 or 2. Needs 12 catches, 136 receiving yards to break the all-time receptions record or single-season receptions record previously held by Michael Thomas with 100. Michael Thomas has 149, and the 136 yards would give him the all-time receiving record previously held by Calvin Johnson. So, don't know if he gets those. Those are some big numbers. Greg, you and I were going through those numbers the other day. He's only done some of those things once or a couple times. I don't think he's done 12 catches all season. So it's going to be a remarkable feat. I hope he does. I will be rooting for him to get it. Either way, he's in your lineup. Sony Michel, an RB1 for sure. Stafford, he's going to the bench for me this week. He couldn't get it done in good matchups, and now we've got a bad matchup or a not so great matchup coming here. So I'm probably going to stay away from him and the rest of the Rams. But on the Niners side, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Elijah Mitchell, all ones at their position. With Jimmy Garoppolo back, I expect Brandon Ayuk to be a wide receiver 3 option.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm taking the over. I'm taking San Fran to cover, San Fran to win the game. Jimmy G, hopefully, if he can go, I mean, glad he's not losing his starting position with the injury and stuff. So he's gonna go. He's perfect for this offense, as well as Trey Lance. But I like him as a play, streaming quarterback. Eli Mitchell, definitely a RB1 for me. Deebo Samuel, wide receiver 1, and George Kittle, tight end 1, with you on those skill positions there. And Brandon Ayuk, I think, is a wide receiver, low end wide receiver 2 category, especially if yeah, it doesn't even matter because they move Deebo Samuel around so much. You don't really know who Jalen Ramsey's going to be on. On the Rams side, Matt Stafford, he's a low end QB1 for me. Odell's been playing well late, getting touchdowns, so I think he's in that wide receiver 2 category. And Sony Michel, also in that RB2 category for me. And as far as the receivers, Cooper Kupp, you got to play him every week as the one you expect him to finish at that place. And Tyler Higbee could be a serviceable tight end.
Let's say you're in a super flex league and you had to play one of these 2 quarterbacks as your second quarterback. Which one would you play?
Jimmy G or Matt Stafford?
Yeah.
I think I'd go Jimmy G.
I think I would too. Which sounds crazy to say.
Well, I'm expecting Matt Stafford to throw at least a pick or.
At least a pick.
Yeah, at least a pick.
I mean, the Niners have been pretty good against quarterbacks in the last 3 weeks.
He gets he just goes ballistic in the fourth quarter because he has to because
because he's thrown a pick 6.
Yeah. Fourth quarter, Matt Stafford has been money this year.
Because you're used to that with the Lions. Making those fourth quarter comebacks.
Yeah. True.
All right, let's move on to this next matchup here. The last matchup of the regular season.
Ooh, most important. This is it right here.
It's basically a playoff game.
Yep.
Unless, who is it that has to lose? The Titans lose?
Oh, well, yeah, I guess everyone's assuming they're going to win, so that's why this is a...
Or is it if the Colts lose? If the Colts lose to Jacksonville, that's the one. If the Colts lose to Jacksonville...
The Raiders are in.
No, these teams just have to tie.
Oh, both?
They're both in.
Oh.
So they could literally just kneel for 60
for the whole
minutes.
entire game. Oh, man, that'd be hilarious. Yeah, hopefully Indy wins, so this matters a lot because the fact that the Raiders are in this to begin with is insane.
Crazy stuff. But let's talk about the game. We've got the 9-7 LA Chargers traveling to Vegas to take on the 9-7 Las Vegas Raiders, division rivals here. They haven't played in a game more important than this one right here since 1981 when they met in a playoff game. So this game is basically a playoff game. So this is basically the most important game since that game has a 50-point total. I think it's actually 49.5.
49, yeah. 49, I think.
So 49.5 point total. The LA Chargers are 3-point favorites. In terms of weather, we're okay here. In terms of injuries, Josh Jacobs dealing with a rib injury. He's questionable. Darren Waller off the COVID list still. I think he was activated off the injured reserve as well. Or he was never on the injured reserve, actually. He was just on the COVID list. But he's questionable with that knee injury that's kept him out since Thanksgiving. Casey Hayward, he's questionable with an ankle. And the Chargers, they're okay in terms of injuries. Greg, in terms of this game, where are you going here?
I'm so close to picking the Raiders. I really do like the strengths of the Raiders with their run game and Hunter Renfrow getting it done. But I think this is where Justin Herbert just ascends on Sunday night. This is, why you drafted Justin Herbert to be a franchise quarterback to get wins like this. So I'm gonna take the over. I'm gonna take the Chargers to cover. Chargers to win. Field goal game for sure. On the Chargers side, Justin Herbert, top 5 play, I think he gets a top 3 play. He gets one of those games here. Austin Eckler in play as well as a RB1. Keenan Allen, RB1, wide receiver 1 as well. Just got his 100th reception last week. So another 100 reception, 1,000-yard season for him. Has been money this year. And Jared Cook, I think, is a serviceable tight end, streaming conversation. And as far as the Raiders side, Derek Carr, I think he's also in play here. He's just been solid all year. He's one of the leaders in passing yards. I think he's top 5 for sure. He's in a low end QB1 category for me. Josh Jacobs, if he's able to go, is in a sweet spot here as a high end RB1. And Hunter Renfrow, you already know how I feel about him. He's just been consistently pretty good through this whole season. Got another touchdown last week. So he's high end wide receiver 2 for me with some wide receiver 1 upside. And Foster Moreau is in play because the Chargers are bad against the run and the tight end if Darren Waller can't go. But yeah, Justin Herbert gets it done, man. The Herb.
Yeah, I have to pick the Chargers here because the Chargers are my pick for the AFC Championship game. So therefore, I have to pick them to win this game because I actually have picked the Chargers to be a playoff team. I bet the Chargers to be a playoff team back in August or July. So I believe that the Chargers win this game. I'm taking the over. I will take the Vegas Raiders to cover because
it's gonna be close.
These AFC West games are crazy.
True.
The Raiders very well could lose in a 1-point loss. We know Brandon Staley doesn't kick field goals, so
true.
You could very well have
the whole scores. Yep.
You could very well have a 1 or 2 point win here for the LA Chargers. In terms of the fantasy side, Justin Herbert, a QB1, Austin Eckler, an RB1, Keenan Allen, I agree, he's definitely a wide receiver 1. Mike Williams always in line to make a big play, so I definitely think he's got to be in your lineup there as a high-end wide receiver 2. On the Raiders side, Derek Carr, definitely a QB1 in this one. I think I have him ranked as the quarterback 11 this week. Yeah, if Waller goes, the fact that he's questionable because he'd been doubtful up until this week, if he goes, he's very much in play as, easily a tight end 1 in a great matchup. Obviously, if he can't, I like Foster Moreau, who is my tight end stream of the week. Josh Jacobs, he's in a very nice matchup, but like we said, dealing with this rib injury. So if he can go, I would be all over him as an RB1. But if he can't go, then you definitely should have Peyton Barber on your bench ready to go, and I would see him as a volume-based RB2 potentially. Hunter Renfrow, he's a wide receiver too, but he's having one of the best seasons by a Raiders wide receiver. He's notches his first 1,000-yard season, which is the first since Amari Cooper was a Raiders, and Amari Cooper has been a Dallas Cowboy for like 4 years now. But he's also has an opportunity to break the catches record, which is currently held by Hall of Famer Jerry Rice. So I don't have the exact number, forgive me, but he definitely can break this record, and is definitely has a shot at doing it. So, like you said, Greg, you've been all over Hunter Renfrow all year. I remember you wanted to add him in like one of our co-managed teams, and I was like, nah, man, we have Cortland Sutton, we're good.
Oh man,
that's pretty much 2021 in a nutshell there. But
Facts.
Greg, let's talk about these starts of the week.
Yes, sir.
Who's your quarterback start of the week this week, Greg?
Hey man, the reason why I didn't pick the Raiders, I said it, is because Justin Herbert's got to get it done the Herb going against Vegas. I think this is one of these special games here in prime time. He's been a low QB1 all year, some inconsistency here, but I think he gets one of those, over 300-yard days, 3 touchdowns. I think he gets a monster day when he gets to all his players, Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, everybody.
The silent assassin, that's what Herbert will be on Sunday. Because, never seen him in a do or die, but we get our first look at Herbert in a do or die on Sunday. My quarterback start of the week. Again, I talked about Russell Wilson potentially being in line for this. I actually thought about Herbert too, but ended up going with Tom Brady. He can't get to the number 1 seed, but he can get to the number 2 seed, which could mean an extra playoff game. Like I said before, been dealing with some adversity. Now you got AB out there in the streets talking crazy about my man. So
word, bro.
We know how Tom Brady does when his back is against the wall. He's playing at home. He's a QB. He is my QB1 this week. Facing off against a Carolina team that allows the 10th most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks in the last 3 weeks. Tom Brady, who is not very good in December, but he's great in January. So last I checked is January. So start the man up.
Yes, sir. I'm with that for sure. TV12.
Greg, your running back start of the week, brother. What do you got?
I'm going to go with, obviously, James Conner is a huge player. I think I like him, but I'm going to go with Antonio Gibson going against the Giants. I think it's a very solid matchup here. I think he's probably, the only offensive weapon that the Washington football team have, and the Giants have not been very good against the running back position. Especially, last week they just gave up 2 touchdowns to David Montgomery. So another, who had 22 carries. I think if Antonio Gibson gets that volume, he's in for a great day. Hasn't had 20 carries since the Raiders game, but I think, the game script and everything should be in favor for him.
Yeah, I like that one. Like we said before, I think I said earlier in the week, whoever plays in this game at the running back position, whether it's AG or Jarrett Patterson, is in for a nice spot. So AG is healthy. This is a very nice spot for him. So I like it. My running back start of the week is a guy that, again, should be widely available in your leagues, which he's only 13% rostered in Yahoo leagues. But he has RB1 potential this week. Samaje Perine getting a spot start here with Joe Mixon out on the COVID list. Perine will be the lead guy for a Cincinnati offense that will probably be without their starters, and he should be the focal point of their number 2 offense. Should be, again, like I said, rostered in 13% of Yahoo leagues. He should be available in your league and is also a nice low-budget DFS option as well.
Yeah, definitely like that for sure. Yeah, he's going to be out there for sure.
And this is what Week 18 does. This was a COVID thing, so I can't really blame this one on Week 18. But, hey, man, I remember a Week 17 fantasy championship starting Joe McKnight, picking up Joe McKnight and starting him. He had 159 rushing yards.
I remember that. I do, yeah. That's crazy.
Moving on to the wide receiver position, Greg. Who's your wide receiver start of the week, brother?
There's some good options here. I was very leaning towards Darnell Mooney, so he's my honorable mention. But once, I got the news about my man Deontay Johnson getting off the COVID list, going against Baltimore, it's just set up for an amazing day. Like, he's got this game. The Steelers still have a shot. They're going to go hard. It's Big Ben's possible last game against Baltimore. He's got to get it done, hopefully to get it to his main guy, Deontay Johnson, in for another 10-plus target day against this JV secondary, the Baltimore Ravens. So I think he gets it done.
I still have no idea how the Baltimore Ravens were favored by 5.5 in this game. Tyler Huntley has not won an NFL game yet, either as a starter or coming into this game. So I have just no idea how he was favored. Although, did you know, I found this out today, Tyler Huntley actually beat Lamar Jackson in a high school playoff game back.
I thought Lamar was undefeated before, I don't know, maybe he lost to Louisville, but still.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, maybe. Well, I heard the stat on NFL Network this morning that Tyler Huntley beat
you might be right.
Lamar Jackson in a playoff game back in their hometown of Florida. So that's actually an interesting Very
Yeah, it
interesting.
is. It is.
Yeah, I still think Tyler Huntley gets his first win in this game, but Deontay Johnson will definitely have a big game against this not very good Baltimore secondary. My wide receiver start of the week, out of this world. I'm going Marquez Callaway. Over the last 3 weeks, he's seen a 36% target share. He's averaging 17 yards per reception, and he's got a 63% catch rate. He has been this team's pass offense, and like I said, they need New Orleans needs to win this game to have a shot at making the playoffs. They also think need some help, but all the stops are coming out this week, and so I think Callaway, I expect him to continue what he's done in recent weeks and have a possible wide receiver one finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Greg, your tight end start of the week, brother, and why is it Dalton Schultz?
Because, he's going against Philly, the number one, one of the worst teams against the tight end position. He came off of 10 targets last week, averaging about 9 in the last 2 games. Had one of the season high in snap shares last week at 94%, man. Dalton Schultz, man, he's got to get it against Philly, yo. So thanks for the lob there. It was perfect. It was perfect setup.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, man, because in my notes, I said I want to pick Dalton Schultz, but this has Greg written all over it, so I'm going with my guy, Kyle Pitts. I think he gets the yardage record, the yardage needed to get the record. Like I talked about, the 59 yards that he needs to break Mike Ditka's record that's been held since 1961. How crazy is that? The record's been around forever. So I think he, like I said, he gets the yardage needed to do that. But I also think he's, again, he's underperformed in the touchdown department. No tight end has underperformed more when it comes to touchdowns than Kyle Pitts this season, who should have had 7.5. He's only had 1. That's a difference of 6.5. Again, the next highest, the next largest differential that comes after that is less than 5. So he's more than 1.5 greater than number 2 in that category. So he could even get some possible touchdown regression in this game, right? Like that could happen. So Kyle Pitts, again, I think we're just seeing like the surface being scratched here with what I think will be a top 3 tight end going forward in fantasy.
Yeah, man. I'm ready for next year, to take him in those high rounds with the names like Kelsey, Waller, and Kittle. He should be right there.
You should
and
be
Andrews.
ashamed
Don't
of
forget
yourself.
Mark Andrews.
I was gonna say, bro, you should be ashamed of yourself. You just
all the work Mark Andrews did. I know. It's crazy. It's slapped him again. Always get slapped.
But yeah, I think that's it for the starts of the week there. Let's move on to some get money, and I will get the results. I think there's got to be a way to do it for us to check all of our matchups against each other. But I will definitely take a look at that, and we will announce it on the show because people deserve that. But Greg, I believe you had the first pick last week, so I think I get the first pick this week.
Yep.
I'm going to go Jonathan Taylor, 10-2. Slide that in.
Word. I'm going to go with my first pick. I'm going to take Deontay Johnson at wide receiver, 7,600, going against Baltimore.
Okay, nice. With my second running back pick, I'm going to take Samaje Perine. He's 6,500, going up against Cleveland, my running back start of the week.
I'm going to take Najee Harris as well, 8,500 running back as my RB1.
Nice. I like that. I'm going to go with James Conner in my flex, 7K. I feel really good about this trio of running backs that I have right now.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to go with Darnell Mooney as my second wide receiver, 6,300. Honorable mention start of the week wide receiver, so he's got a really good matchup as well.
Nice. My quarterback, I'm actually going to go Josh Allen, 8,800, going up against the Jets.
At my third wide receiver, I'm gonna go with Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7,500, going against Green Bay. Yeah, finished the year strong.
No wide receiver, not even Jamar Chase, has more fantasy points during the fantasy playoffs than Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Wow.
Dude is going to be a stud. Just wait till they get him a quarterback. For my first wide receiver, I'm actually going to go my start of the week at wide receiver, Marquez Callaway, 5,900, going up against Atlanta.
I'm gonna go as my second RB. I'm gonna go Dare Ogunbowale, 5,600, going against Indy.
That's cheap.
Yeah, I need that cheap play.
That's some cheap volume right there.
Yeah, it is.
I like that. For my second wide receiver, I'm gonna go with Gabriel Davis, 5,200, getting that stack going up against the Jets.
I'm gonna go with the person that gets Marquez Callaway the ball, Taysom Hill, at my quarterback position, 7,700, going against Atlanta.
It's a nice leverage play too, because Taysom Hill doesn't even need Marquez Callaway to have a good day. I'm gonna go for my third wide receiver. I'm gonna go Christian Kirk, 6,200, going up against the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, definitely love that. In my flex, I'm going David Montgomery, 7,600, going against Minnesota.
At defense, I'm gonna go Tampa Bay, 4,200, going up against Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers. Enough said.
Tight end, I'm going Pat Farmer from Heavy Steelers right now, 5,200. Slide him in there, tight end position, going against Baltimore.
You are heavy Steelers. I actually was, my tight end was gonna be Dawson Knox. I was gonna get that stack here with Josh Allen, but I just saw that I could pay $200 less and afford my tight end start of the week and Kyle Pitts. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that there and get Kyle Pitts in here.
Yeah, get your boy in there. Put the money where mouth is. And at defense, I'm gonna go for someone cheap, 3,900. I'm going with the Chicago Bears, going against Minnesota. Hopefully, Robert Quinn can get some more sacks, break this whatever sack record he's got. He's got some money incentives too, so I know he needs some more sacks.
There you go. I mean, between him and TJ Watt, both of those guys trailing, I think, Michael Strahan's all-time single season sack record. I think TJ Watt's at 21.5, and Robert Quinn's at 22. I think. Was it 20? I don't remember.
Yeah,
but somewhere in the 20 number. But Michael Strahan has the record 22.5. So TJ Watt basically a sack behind him. All right, y'all. That was it. That was the last time we will do this for the 2021-2022 NFL season. I hope that you enjoyed the show all year, whether it was us picking games, us doing recaps, starts of the week type stuff, all that. But yeah, we will catch y'all next week. Probably not going to do a recap show. Probably no need for that. So we will do hits and misses. So you got to come back next week and we'll do some misses. Maybe not next week. I don't know. We'll figure out the exact scheduling, but you'll get the alert when it's posted. But anyway, y'all have a good one. Good luck in the rest of your championship matchups, and we'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one. We're out of here. Peace.
Lord, bet responsibly, yo. We out.